Welcome back to term 2, and a very different start to the term compared to what we're used to, and so the beginning of online learning. And what I've done is I've put together a really simple warm-up for you to do, and this includes elements of breath, of movement, of stillness, and a little bit of what I call somatic release. And as you would normally do if you were at school, a lot of you would walk into school, you come into the studio and you do your own exercises and you do your warm-up. We want you to have that sense of still having that good preparation for your day when you're at home. And I know that can be limiting in terms of how much space that you've got, so this warm-up doesn't take much space. But for you to be able to make sure that you prepare yourself for the day ahead, so that you get up in good time, that you have something to eat and drink. You might even like to go for a short walk, or even if you had a bicycle, you could go on a short bike ride, depending on the restrictions of where you are. And then to be able to come in and do this for kind of 10 to 15 minutes before you engage in your technique class for the day. And certainly by laying this foundation really helps you to be able to be prepared and safe to enter the movement that you need to do afterwards. I've added in this somatic release, and I'll talk you through it a little bit when we do it, but this idea of being able to really kind of find that freedom and integrity in the body. And the warm-up on the Google Doc there's an explanation to it, and there's a little bit more about why do we do these warm-ups. So we're going to begin in standing. Come up to standing, and you've got that 1 or 2 minutes of doing any movement that you like. So lots of options. You know, that idea of those things like the arm swings. This is really good for the thoracic spine. I call it the tap and wrap. Anything like that, you know, beautiful kind of swing and flow. That organic movement that you can do where you just let the body talk, and putting some really nice music on that you love, that inspires you, that motivates you is really fantastic. Shaking the hands, you can do little jumps. You can imagine you have a skipping rope and do a little motion as though you are skipping. And trying to use, you know, being mindful of your floor surface, so whether it's a hard floor, carpet, or if you've the option of putting down, a yoga mat is great. So any movement that you like, that's kind of 1 or 2 minutes. And then we're going to stand and we're going to find that kind of postural scan for a moment, for a breath. Let that movement be integrated. And then we're going to come down into extended child's pose. So extended child's pose, we know this one. Our knees draw out a little wider, so we've got the tug of the tissue of the inner thigh. This is a very grounding posture. Palms down, forearms down, and forehead touches the mat. And you're in extended child's pose for 5 breaths. And the breath is coming to the base and the back of the lungs, and this is really expansive. And there's this sense of lowering the heart to the earth. So if you're feeling kind of a little scattered in your thoughts, it's a really nice way to ground you. 5 breaths in that extended child. And then you're going to walk the hands back towards you. The knees draw in on this sense of lengthening and sitting tall. 2 easy breath movements. Inhale, breath, arms sweep wide, palms touch, heart center, to heart and through heart, arms lengthen up, and we open wide. And 1 more of those. Inhale, breath, to heart center, arms lengthen up, and we come wide. We'll come into a little momentum swing. So hands cross in front of you. It doesn't matter which way you go. You drop onto one hand. You really come into softening the elbow and opening what I call the lateral fascial line. So this gives you this really drop and up, drop and up. Again, you can do this a few times to each side, or you can do more than that. So I'm just going to do kind of 3 to each side. Release. This takes us to a soft upward dog. So we've done this before where the hands come on the mat, the pelvis drops low, and we release the knee joints off, the legs are relaxed. A little shimmy of the pelvis, nice and strong through the arms, so you're not dropping, there's still that lift. Tuck the toes, puppy pose, so crease through the front of the hips, the buttocks are wide and the armpits are wide, forehead touches the mat. Couple of breaths in your puppy pose. And then we're going to walk the hands back, so you allow the spine to curl. come up and coming into that really nice toe stretch. So we really tuck the toes under so we can feel that stretch on the tissue of the arch of the foot. And this is really good to keep that kind of nice pliability in the foot, and it's actually really good for improving your demi point. Again, a little bit of breath movement. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and wide. It's nice to use the arms because that distracts you if the feet are feeling tight. Inhale, exhale to heart, through heart. Inhale, lengthen up and open wide. And then from our toe stretch, we're going to come up onto our 4-point, and we have that organic movement. So the 4-point kneel is a really lovely position to be able to use movement like jump rope the spine, so that action as if your spine is a skipping rope. You can bring in as much head and neck movement as you like. Could be that straight cow and cat motion, even that rocking forward and back. And the other one, lovely option, is that thread the needle, where we come through. You can do that on each side. So again, a couple of minutes where you're really letting the spine move and articulate. From that motion, you're going to come to your puppy pose. Hands reach forward, soften with the breath, armpits are wide, ground yourself, and then push to the downward facing dog. So we've got that moving walking dog, so that means we're really kind of padding through the feet. So that action of moving and padding through the feet. Do that, so we're really tugging on that tissue through what we call the posterior line. So a little tug right from there, that arch of the foot, back of the calf, right up to where the hamstring attaches. And then we're going to walk the feet forward. So the head comes forward, and we're slowly going to walk the feet forward. And from that position, we come into our halfway lift. So belly hangs to thighs. We come into a halfway lift. Fold on the exhale. Inhale, breath, halfway lift. Fold on the exhale, breath. Inhale, halfway lift, that nice length. Fold on the exhale, breath. Hands are going to sweep wide. Push and ground the feet. Come up to standing. Palms touch. Heart center to heart and through heart. And again, take a little postural scan, this integration. So what you do is you take this sense of what I call taking an inventory of yourself. So what that means is noticing where you are at this point of time. So you can close your eyes, take out visual stimulus, and scan through the body. So feel that nice openness through the collarbones. Imagine the scapula drawing down towards the pelvis and widening to the armpit. A little lift through the front of the pelvis and a lengthening, but not tucking, through the back of the pelvis. And so that you're stable and strong, but there's still this kind of sense of ebb and flow. You can be here for as long as you choose. And then the eyes open. I'm going to do a little bit of what I call somatic release. Now this is great. What we mean by somatic release is often we get stuck in the cycle of what we call activation and arousal. And we get stuck in the circle. So we want to move through the activation of arousal so the body can move with a little more freedom and integrity. So the somatic release is when we take our fingertips and thumb tip and we can have the eyes open or closed. So I'm going to close my eyes and we're going to tap on the forehead, around the jaw and cheek. You might come up to the just in front of the earlobe, what we call the temporomandibular joint, following the jaw around. We can gently tap up over the head and onto the skull. So often there's a lot going on, so we're just kind of having that sensory awareness. The back of the head and the back of the neck, and coming not through the front of the throat, just to the base of the throat. And then you move what you have tapped. So we're just going to do a very gentle movement of the head. And then when it comes, it doesn't matter which hand you start with. We take one hand and we're going to tap along the arm, the upper arm, the forearm into the hand, coming onto the other surface of the arm. We can tap along through the front of the chest, coming and tapping and having that sensory awareness right through the fingertips, the palm, the forearm, the upper arm. And again, we move what we've tapped. So we're going to move our head and our arms, this organic movement. And then we take the tapping and we bring it through the sternum to the rib cage, through to the belly, the tapping to the base and the back of the lungs. Again, this little action of tapping. And then we're going to move what we've tapped. So head, arms and torso. And the tapping comes, and we use the palm of the hands because we're coming into a bit more of the bigger muscles. Into the thighs, down to the shins, to the feet, outer leg, calf, to the back of the leg, buttocks, and base of the back. Put everything to the top. You're going to move everything that you have tapped. So it's this beautiful organic movement, releasing and allowing the body to move any way that feels nice. And we're going to gather the energy a little more linear. So we're going to inhale breath, pull the arms up, lengthen up. Exhale breath, swing back. Inhale breath, steeple mudra. So you're going to interlace the fingers, release the index finger, cross the thumbs, push through the feet, stand tall. Little side bend to the right, come up. Little side bend to the left, come up. And we repeat, release, swing. Use the breath, come up. Steeple mudra, side bend left and up. Side bend right and up. I'm going to do 2 more of those. Swing, catch with breath, side bend, come up, side bend, come up. And 1 more. And let the energy go. And side bend, come up, and side bend, come up, and release. Another pulse raiser. So again, that motion that you need, anything. You guys are so creative, so anything that feels good. You can move a little more around if you have a little more space, or if you don't have a lot, just stay still. Again, maybe shaking, maybe imagining you've got a skipping rope and you're just taking that weight, transferring it from side to side, but really starting to lift the kind of sense of being a little bit of out of breath. So you are warming and awakening the body. And then we're going to come to 2 more movements. Utkatasana, our chair pose. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit back, crease through the front of the hips, widen the sits bones, reach forward, our chair pose. Soften the spine down, equal weight between 2 feet. Little flexing of the spine, reaching up, lengthening up, little back bend as you draw the arms wide. So it is Utkatasana, reach forward. Soften to the forward fold, little flexing of the spine, reaching up, push through the feet, circling wide. 1 more. Utkatasana, reach forward. Soften to the forward fold. Reach forward, push through the feet. Lengthen up, circle wide. In, hands come to the heart, through the heart, elbows wide. Lift the right leg up. We're going to push it back to our warrior 3. So we're going to push the foot back, lengthening and drawing. Take a little step forward into our warrior 3. Arms reach wide, aeroplane. So 3 little knee bends. 1, up, 2, up, 3, up. Gather the energy, vertical lift, lift the leg up. And we're going to look down and we're going to place the ball of the foot on the ground. We lift the back heel up and we find our balance with a length and a lift. 3 little bends, testing the balance. 1, use a breath. 2, and 3. Come up, step back, hands to the heart center, and that foot draws up and places down. Other side. Lift, up, push, back. Warrior 3. So gather the energy. Little knee bend. So really good for that integration of co-contraction, of balance, of strength, of control, integration of movement. Draw up, vertical lift. Feel the little wobbles as you come up. Organize the body. Look down. Place the foot, the ball of the foot on the ground. Lift up. Reach the arms up. And 3 little soft knee bends. 1. Use the breath. Feel the balance. 2. Come up. 3. Up. Step back. The foot lifts, the integration of the movement, and draws back. Place the foot down and feel the lift and the length through the body. And again, take this postural scan. Maybe close the eyes. And take the inventory. So again, that check-in of where you are in this space and this moment. And have the sense of finding the pulse in the body and let the pulse direct you and your senses into your space that you currently inhabit. Soften the breath. And then when you're ready, you can open the eyes. And if there's anything else that you want to finish off with, it could be another balance, could be another pulse raiser, it could be coming down to again ground yourself. So that sense of starting and finishing in a really nice grounding posture is a really lovely way to again integrate movement. So remember, the warm-up and this framework for you is something for you to maybe simplify. So that means you can pull back off movement or amplify the movement or modify the movement. But make sure that you do spend time, a good 15 minutes of integrating breath and movement so you can have the focus and the foundation so the body can move with freedom and integrity for your online learning. So we'll look forward to seeing you online over this term, and make sure that you keep in touch, and we really look forward to engaging with you through the term. See you soon.